this tournament as well. And looks like we got the race starting as well. Good luck to both. And as usual, for those who are new around here, I will, just do a brief explanation of what you're watching. So this is the No Out of Bounds category of Luigi's Mansion. Entails getting 40 ghosts, 40 boos specifically. There's more than 40 ghosts. And beating King Boo, all without going out of bounds. Nasty little glitch in the beginning that lets you go out of bounds. We banned it from this category. Should take about, for these runners, somewhere between 56 and 59 minutes. And expect to see some goodness. It should be a nice tight race between the two of them. You'll see different methods of doing things, both of them using their Game Boy Horror, which is a little camera, to do scare skips, skip the scare animation from Luigi, position themselves nicely to get these ghost suck-ups. Area 1, pretty straightforward area. Like, Nintendo kind of took it easy. It's a little bit of the tutorial area. So you're not going to see too many complex things. More so, it's really all movement. And they should stay more or less tied as long as both play perfectly. You'll see more or less frame by frame they're together. Both with slightly separate strategies to set up. But overall, you'll see they're both experienced enough to where the suck-ups are ending at about the same time. Both ending as close to the door as possible and going through the door. Nice high-level gameplay as you're going through. It's funny, you see the slight variations. A nice, actually, cool little scare skip there from Michael. Actually, let's see if he quite pulled it off. A Poison Mushroom on Switchmaster's side, that's going to make things confusing. If that hits him, he does lose 10 seconds automatically, but luckily it does kind of get out of the way and does despawn, but unfortunately just a little bit slow on that orange ghost suck-up gives Michael just an ever so slight lead. That's really not going to matter in the bigger scheme of things, but it's fun to talk about when we're looking at it. Now moving into the Area 1 hallway here, where you're going to get your first introduction to the Portrait Ghosts. Portrait Ghosts, a little bit stronger than your regular ghosts. All of them have 100 HP, and each have their own little quirks and mechanics to sucking them up. Michael looks like a little bit faster on the mash, kind of pulling away like a half a second further even. He's in it to win it, man. So facing bathward. We're not in the bathroom yet. My mistake. Facing backwards to get the heart, and Michael had a little bit of trouble on the suck-up and gave Switch that half a second back. And yeah, Area 1 stuff. All these half-set... Alright. Both of them bouncing coins around. And we are tied, I think, partially because of the ba-da-da-da that you heard from Michael. Yep, definitely tied to the T here. You gotta love these later in the tournament matches just for being so close, even through weird little trials and tribulations. The level of consistency that these higher up runners show is, second to none. Lots and lots of hours put into getting this good. All for this. For the spotlight, the glory, and bragging rights. Who doesn't like bragging rights? So we're hitting our first area boss. Yeah, Michael definitely has a little bit of a faster mash. That's funny. You can visually see it there. Area boss here, Chauncey. Giant baby in a giant crib. Can't be one-cycled, so if you see they let go of the boss at 50 health, that's on purpose. And if you see them getting hit by Chauncey or the rocking horses, that's also on purpose. More details to follow. So they're going to move to the right and to the left, and then they're going to set up an instant ball catch, which is going to let them just, instead of chasing the ball, they're just going to catch the ball, throw it right back in Chauncey's face. Moving backwards, aiming, and shooting. Stopping above 50 health here on purpose, because he can't one cycle. It looks like we're right in sync now. Both runners now getting hit to lose coins. Switchmaster intending to give us all a seizure. The losing coins because there's a money counter after the boss fight, and the less money you have, the less time it takes. Getting hit here again, not just to lose money, but also to get the invincibility frames here. They're going to knock on the crib to keep their invincibility frames, and instantly catch the ball instead of... if you don't get those invincibility frames, Luigi gets kind of bopped up in place. But using the invincibility frames, Luigi just catches the ball. And both runners still more or less in sync here. Pretty solid area ones on both sides. So I didn't see if either of the runners picked up pearls when they were getting the portrait ghosts. If they didn't pick up any pearls, they'll be low percent, which means you can totally skip the money counter screen entirely. Saves a second. Just something to talk about as we're coming into this cutscene. And then we'll move on into Area 2, where the gameplay picks up. You're going to see more advanced movements and really the slight optimizations to get, you know, some of these doubles faster. And when we get to the RNG elements, you know, finding different spots and, you know, the correct way to go about it, so to speak. Luigi's Mansion, you know, this speedrun specifically is also a lot of thinking. It's not just, you know, inputs and memorization. So they both got pearls, so we don't get to see the money counter being skipped. It's fine, though. Everything's fine. Everything is A-okay. We're going to make it through, chat. So moving on into Area 2. Like I said, you are going to see more complex strategies. First room we're going into here is the bathroom or washroom. Michael getting hit by a mouse, therefore getting scared by a ghost. Switchmaster takes the lead, assuming this lead will be permanent. No way Michael can recover from this. It was a joke. It only cost a second. The reason they have their flashlights up is to avoid those ghosts, those hanger ceiling ghosts spawning. But the mouse makes Luigi point his flashlight down when he gets hit, and then Michael more or less got wrecked, is the moral of the story. So these doubles are very precise, so to speak, both doing a scare skip to position themselves correctly and get to the double faster. Then they're going to suck up these masks, hopefully without getting the mask of the double on the far side. And both of them nailing it. I've seen that get messed up even by the top runners in some of the most recent races. But overall, a solid ballroom from both. Michael maybe making up a second on Switchmaster there, just on the movement optimization. And now, hopefully, these ghosts will both show their hearts early, because we have decent runs going here. And it doesn't for either of them. Early release doesn't exist. It's a myth. And they both just lost 10 seconds for free. But at least, like, those ghosts can decide to show their hearts 10 seconds early, or they just won't. And it's a 50-50 shot. So at least for the sake of the race that they both didn't get early release, because you hate to see an advantage come from kind of just a dumb RNG thing there. And so we are still tied. Both of them, Michael actually messing up the angle for poster skip there. So I don't know if he'll set up a backup. It looks like he's going to try here. He's going to make setting up the double here a little awkward. One of the ghosts didn't spawn. He's trying to turn around, and he does miss the double. Going to give Switch about a 5-second lead here. But you getting the poster skip, you definitely want to do it as well. So As long as the ghost didn't despawn, it's not too bad for Michael. It's probably about the same amount of time that it would have taken to actually suck up the poster anyways. So it is what it is on that part. So now the boos are being released, and RNG galore. They randomly spawn in each room, almost each room, when the rooms are lit up. And you gotta find them and get them fast. We'll talk about them as we go through the rooms here. But first, EGAD has to talk a lot. Yeah, the rough part of missing that poster skip is if you do try and go for it on the second cycle, the ghost spawns are a little wonky. So if there's a lump in this table on the right side, that already means there's a 50-50 shot of the ghost being in there. And so you'll see it on Switchmaster's side. He is still going to check for a tech skip, it looks like. Same thing with Michael. Michael just going to pull the sheet directly off. Both get rewarded for their strategies, but you're going to see Switchmaster take an even more slight lead here because he's going to get the tech skip, which Michael wasn't able to get due to RNG. So you'll see EGAD talking to Michael and Switch just moving right past because he sucked up the tablecloth after getting the boo. And RNG still slapping Michael in the face all the way on the left side of the room. That's one of the rougher spots in area 2 that you really don't want that to happen. Good read by Switch there on the second boo find. Can't really do much about the first one. It is what it is. Great by Michael, too, actually, on that second boo find. Very quick. Michael, even against RNG's odds, still pretty much keeping with Switch there. To have it be this close without getting the tech skip is truly a testament to being able to find those second shot boos quickly. Michael with the vacuum out. Will he go for boo double? Will he be the champion? He won't. But he does know that there's a spawn spot in that chair now. So that's good knowledge for Michael as he comes into the next room here. Switch, on the other hand, reads the radar, goes right past, and luckily does find the boo quickly. It's not in the painting. Painting is nice and slow. And good RNG from Michael there. Was able to activate both spots with his vacuum on the right side of the room. You really do want the boos to spawn on the right side of the room there. The further you have to walk, the more time you're losing, more or less. Now that Switch has 5 boos, he's able to go to the washroom, get the key from the toilet, not joking, and then move on to the next little section here. Don't know how someone I think actually canonically, the Toad accidentally flushed the key down the toilet, and that's why he's crying in that room. I'm pretty sure that's the reason. So now you're going to see some cool tech coming up here in the room that Switch just got into. After you clear the room, a chest appears and there's a fire medallion that spawns. And usually when you pick it up, there's this long old text from EGAD, and he's like, you can shoot fire out of your vacuum now. Shoot fire all the time. Shoot fire forever. I promise you'll get into other elements because fire is the best until you get the next element. But what we found out, I don't know if it was a year ago or so, you can actually suck up the boo with the fire medallion out, and then on the animation of sucking up the boo, you grab the fire medallion at the same time. The boo text will come up first, so you can actually save Switchmaster getting burned. You can actually save and then quit before getting the fire text. It skips the fire text, it skips lighting the candles in here, and it sets up a good cycle for the butler coming up here. Michael made up a lot of time on there with the good RNG and not getting burned, of course. So you see they saved, they skipped the fire text, and now they come up. And with optimized movements, you'll see exactly what I mean by that butler cycle in a second. No matter what, when you walk in, he spawns the same. So if you take the same amount of time to do what you're doing here, as long as you do it correctly and quickly, it will be very optimal. So, of course, lighting the candles, you have to do that no matter what to get this key. And so now coming up here on the top left, on that hallway, the butler is walking from side to side. You'll see his candles just peeked around the side of Switch's screen. Ooh, Michael got that awesome little sidewalk there. Burned from around the corner, gave him just a little extra movement. If before it used to be just kind of a random cycle and it was luck and chance what side, he could go all the way up to the melody door. And the further away he is, the longer it's going to take him to get over here. But with that fire warp, it's now pretty much set in stone where he's going to be. Also, it does make this room, although an easy room, definitely a tighter finish. Because if you mess up, oof, big oof. You're going to see them most likely here use this hat to get the chest cutscene skip. So you see the chest actually spawns at the same time as he can move. You don't have to watch it. It's nice. You can open the chest, and then Butler just sits down in time for you to suck him up. It's all a very tight cycle, but very precisely organized. And it works out pretty much in our favor here. Great RNG for Michael. Still does have to get the key, though. Hopefully the Boo isn't too mean and he doesn't get any Pearl lock-ons. Anytime Switch still attempting to find the Boo. And it looks like we pretty much got a tie here. If not, Michael maybe just ever so slightly in the lead. Catches up more or less really through sheer movement because his RNG hasn't been, you know, spectacular per se. Both of them you're going to see setting up quads now, also activating the bats, getting rid of as many as possible with the iframe so that they don't get messed up during this suck up. They can really mess up your day. And Michael with the good RNG here as well. Yeah, definitely takes quite a few second lead here. Unbelievable. Great play from Michael just in general. Now looking to set up the laundry Boo tech skip, but that Boo ball is going to get in his way. I don't know if he's going to get it now. Oh, he still gets it and knocks the Boo ball out of the way too. Switchmaster also getting the laundry Boo tech skip. Whoo-wee! That's pretty cool. So that tech skip is actually deceptively difficult because the cloth on that towel rack is much harder to suck up than like a regular cloth that you would pull off a table or something. So to see it executed and executed well by both runners, cool. Plus there is a meme in the community. Michael made a video and you know, hello, I'm MichaelT00 and today I'm going to show you how to do laundry Boo tech skip. So, you know, still it's the disgustingly close race here. Michael hitting the correct song this time. In his previous race, he said he had a dropped input. I think he just hit the wrong song, let's be real. RNG in this room, very, very important. Because if it's on the far left, that's super slow. But it doesn't matter because it was in a great spot for both of them. Both of them also sucking up the Boo and the key at the same time, just optimizing, not having to run back for the key. And yeah. Michael falls behind because he runs into a chair. 19 minutes in, and we are still super close in this race. This might be the closest consistent race we've had so far. And so when I was talking about element text before, this is what I'm talking about. EGAD just doesn't shut up. Kind of the moral of the story in the speedrun of this game is how much text can we skip from EGAD. Michael does take a slight lead here because of the beautiful, beautiful RNG. Getting 1,000,000 double cackles though. Whew. Dangerous game there. Cackles are interesting. When you heard him kind of the boo screaming twice in a row, what happens there is each boo has 15 set cackles before it escapes the room. And generally when we're R pumping to keep it in place, you see them kind of holding the boo in place, pumping every 10 health. It's going to cackle. But if you're positioned incorrectly, it can double cackle. And after 15 cackles, that boo, no matter what, is going to dart out of the room. And it's not so punishing on some of these earlier ghosts. Like Michael really got away with it because that ghost has, what is it, 70 health, 80 health, something like that. But he missed the double. Sorry. I just had to see it. But it looks like Switch didn't miss the double, but definitely wasn't the fastest at setting up the double. Michael actually had a bit of trouble here in the graveyard, and we're tied. Lol? What was I talking about? Cackles? Oh yeah, 70, 80 health, he didn't get punished because there was enough leeway within those 15 cackles for that 70 and 80 health to still suck up the boo. Sorry, there's a lot to talk about. Hard to keep up sometimes. Now we got Bogmire, Area 2 boss, 100 health, deceptively difficult. This dude loves to pull away. He pulls against the vacuum very strong, can break away, and he's kind of on a little bit of a time limit as well when you start to suck up, so you gotta be fast on this. Keep Luigi in control, don't get dragged around. It's fine. Everything's fine. And we're still more or less tied. Y'all like close matches? Because this is about as close as it gets. The winner of this match is definitely going to be decided by some of the smaller mistakes that are made. Or even just by RNG on its own. Because this is nuts. I don't think I've seen a match. Truly, I've been commentating matches and doing this tournament for. This is my third year doing this. I don't think I've seen a match stay this consistently close. Like within 5 seconds of each other, the entire match, 22 minutes in. Yeah, that's whew. If the runners are listening to this stream, definitely stressful. Good luck. Don't listen to me though. So now we're moving into Area 3. This is where RNG is going to take a huge play. A lot of RNG elements in this area. Especially in that Area 1 hallway when we go revisit it to get the boos and the twins and all that stuff. Alright, so we got water going down the hole. Something I've talked about a lot, never understood with the design of this game. Luigi can absolutely fit through the mouth of this thing. Maybe even break the tooth off of it, but he absolutely could save his brother by crawling through there. His very pixelated brother. And is picking up the key. Gonna go up the ladder. Gonna see two amazing stumble skips. I expect nothing else from these runners. The stumble skip of champions. They both got it. I was ready for one of them to miss it because I said that. And spraying water, doing flashlight skips is what that's called. It just literally skips the flashlight from coming out if you spray an element at the right time. Skipping this ghost entirely because he's just got a lift, bruh. And can't can't interrupt this dude making gains. Switch actually made up time there, just a little bit in movement. But Michael doing the faster water snipe through the ceiling makes up the half-second back. Looks like neither of them are setting up the tech skip. When they go to face Blue Hits does. Because one of these runners is going to face Blue Fits? All right. Blue Hits in the main bracket finals. All right, so now we got the ice element. That's all 3 elements in the game. And we're going to go ahead and try and find this Boo quick. Both of them using their radar. Switch finds it faster than Michael, but Michael is probably going to get a tech skip here if he plays his cards right. And he does, so really still kind of right in it with Switch because of that tech skip. Makes up for the bad RNG. Both of them making their way downtown. They're walking fast. Their faces are past, and they are homebound. Unbelievable, folks. The level of gameplay that we are seeing here. Freezing a lady in the tub because Luigi's mission is more important than clean hygiene. And Michael Sucka, maybe even just a little bit faster than Switch is there. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just hallucinating. And not only are they disrupting clean hygiene, but they're going to interrupt this poor lady just knitting yarn balls. They're going to shoot them right back at her face 3 times. 3 whole times. Switch actually getting the yarn balls a little bit faster than Michael. Michael maybe even playing it safe a little bit there. I think he was worried to bump into them or something. And Switch getting awesome RNG too on this room. This is a room you definitely don't want to have to move around too much, and also freezing the Boo in place as he's opening the chest to get the key and make his way out. You'll see Michael doing the same thing on his side as well. It's the strats, man. So Michael kind of got played with RNG a little bit there. Switch probably taking the most definitive lead of the night so far, about 10 seconds. And now lighting the circle of the pentagram and summon ghosts. Demon ghosts. Spooky demon ghosts. So if I'm not mistaken, I think Michael goes for a double-double and then a single-double, and Switch goes for the double-double-triple. Well, let's find out. Yeah, so Switch burns, it keeps that ghost in place, he sucks up the mass and gets the triple. Michael on the other side sucks up the ghost right away, that's still going to get those guys in place, and then he sucks up the mass and gets the double. Switch again with the great RNG. Bad RNG has been kind of the story of Michael's run so far. Suddenly a garage door opening to my left. Don't get distracted though, because we have stellar gameplay here. I don't know if you guys could actually hear that. I apologize if you do. Now, in linear Nintendo logic, we're going to blow up the moon. Switch, making sure his angle's just right. You don't want to miss it. It's a stupid 10-second loss. And both of them hit just about dead center. Michael made up a little bit of time on the aiming of the shot. And yeah, moon's blown up. Don't worry, you get a star though. Seems legit, right? That's one of Mario's items, if you noticed. We got a letter as well earlier, and his hat, and we still have his shoe and his glove to get. So that's 5 items. Bring him to the fortune teller later. Part of the little subplot of the game. Oh, but don't worry, the moon does come back when we fight Colossus. It was a fake moon. You've all been bamboozled. Now Switch making his way to a room that's totally not the same mechanic as the mirror room from earlier. Definitely original room, original strategies. Invisible ghosts. You're supposed to use the light of the projector to find out where they are, but the dust when they spawn is a more than clear indication of where they are. And when they get grabbed, of course, it's on purpose. They're setting up doubles or triples, depending on what it is. Also a garage again. And as I see, getting that nice, clean triple, and hopefully great RNG here for Switch. Again, yeah, RNG, the sun is just shining on Switch's run. It's because we destroyed the moon. The sun is shining extra hard. It looks like the Boo actually switched into there for Michael, which isn't terrible. You see Michael repositioning to suck up the glove at the same time as getting close to the door. Neat little thing there. Do I suggest we blow the moon up? I'm not saying not to. Now moving back to the Area 1 hallway. Gonna go ahead and rack up some boos in here that we missed earlier. Beautiful RNG again for Switch. And for Michael, not as much. What else is new? At least it's not in the lampshade. The last one I commentated, we had double lampshade RNG. It was fun. So remember earlier in this run, I said RNG can make or break a lot of these, in Area 3, can make or break a lot of these runners' times. This is kind of what I was talking about. Michael is getting a little wrecked here. Also Switch, of course, getting as close to the door as possible after spinning, I always forget what that thing is called. The cool airplane thing. Twins can be randomly in one of the 5 boxes. If you either light it on fire or use your vacuum, you can tell which box it is. Switch, based on the strategy that, or the order that he checks the boxes, he got the worst RNG possible for him. And I believe I saw the box shake on the right side for Michael. So it looks like average RNG for Michael. A little bit of a time save for Michael. RNG time save. He needs it, man. The game's been pooping on him. You know, figuratively. Looks like he might be trying to set up for a double here. Do not recommend. But he's doing it. We see the YOLO kids. He's going in. It's going strong. He's sucking up. It's crazy. The things are happening. That might have been the first twin double, clean twin double I've seen in this tournament so far. Right at the end. But don't worry, RNG still pooped on him. That is a deceptively difficult double to set up. It does actually look like he saved quite a bit of time on Switch, though, because of it. They lined up just kind of right for it. So Michael keeping his vacuum on just as long as he needs to for the for that chair. There's I think the table and the 2 chairs are all each individual spots there to get the booze to spawn out of. So hold the vacuum just as long as he needed to. Easy tech skip setup here in the living room, the bedroom, if you will. Shockingly bad RNG again for Michael. Who would have guessed it? Not me. Area 3, not Michael's thing, but through it all, really, I mean, he still has been keeping up nice here. Race is still within 10 seconds. It's not like Switch has this crazy, incredible lead, you know? And while we're at Fortune Teller, I have a dog next to me now. I'm very excited about it. All right, we lost audio on Switch's side. That's the Japanese glitch. It just happens. It'll come back next time he talks to her. While we're doing this, I implore you, if you're not following Speed Gaming, follow. They're good. They set this stuff up for free. It's all volunteers. What nice people. Also, if you want to check out when the finals match is coming up, type !LM. That'll be coming up soon, considering this is the elimination bracket finals. All right, so I believe we're getting to the end of the text here. Yep, hands on the lap. That was the best minute and a half of my life. I don't know about you, chat. I think Michael actually made up a little bit of time mashing there. That's pretty incredible. And for the first time in a while, not good RNG for Switch. Really not good RNG for Switch because the Boo switched. And who would have guessed not good RNG for Michael? And suddenly we're within 2 seconds again. How we doing, chat? Making our way up to one of my favorite rooms just to execute. It's a lot of fun. The Safari room, because you can push ghosts and do things. It's a great time. Foop Johnson in the chat, not commentating with me because he's a traitor. All right, here's the Safari room. They're gonna suck up the deer things and start the room. They're spraying ice ahead of time to do a little bit of ice animation canceling. So here's what I meant by pushing ghosts. You push the garbage can ghost and set up the double. I don't know. It's fun. It's cool. It's a good time all around. Nice spot there for Michael. He just kind of had to turn around. It's nice when things work out. Giving me the spotlight. You know, thanks, man. I really needed it. So Switch already has the key, so I still think he's gonna be like a second ahead here. Switching the sidestep there, Michael. Yeah, still just slightly ahead. Me and you, Foot Boy. So, Boo losses, conglomeration of 15 Boos. Put up into one fat Boo. He's a fat boy. And you want to get him in one cycle. You got to pop him on a horn. Kind of rude. But, listen, you got to do what you got to do to save your brother. So you see both runners swing to the right here. Ice kind of in the middle of nowhere for Switch, but hopefully it'll be... Yeah, it kind of lined up. It's okay. Everything's fine. It's all intended. Gonna go ahead and do a spray coming forward. The Boos are split up, but hopefully those are the final two. They're not. Oh, he got a troll Boo on the right side. Michael takes the lead because he gets a nice clean one cycle. Ever so slight lead. Might as well be tied. Unbelievable. Oh, man. And we're going into Area 4 with practically a tie. Yes, the moon is back. I didn't mention it, but the moon is back. Did we blow up a fake moon? Find out next time on Luigi's Mansion. You're not going to find out. I don't know the answer. But just keep watching us. Yeah, I mean, this is truly as close as these races get. Can't ask for much closer. Maybe the finals will be within milliseconds. Who knows? Ah, they did bring it back with the Dragon Balls. Genius. All right, moving on to Area 4. In my opinion, a little less RNG, a little more execution. Some of the harder stuff in this run, a lot of 150 boos. You got Breaker Boo at 200. I believe both runners go for Breaker Boo here, so that's going to be one of the defining moments of this run, especially if they both get it. But if one misses it and the other one gets it, then that's a huge discrepancy. That would probably honestly determine the winner in this race. We're not there yet, though. Right now, we're at Walking Simulator. They're doing a great job walking. Yeah, the fun part, if Switch doesn't go for Breaker Boo, I know Michael does. If Switch doesn't go for Breaker Boo and then Michael does go for Breaker Boo and doesn't get it, Switch has a pretty definitive advantage. Yes, it can make or break this race. Thank you for the pun. I appreciate it. All right, so blackout section, a little bit of RNG here. I said, oh, not much RNG in Area 4, but we do have Grimly, the god of RNG. He shows his heart anywhere between instantly and 50 seconds. He's in the wardrobe room, so that's where they're making their way to now. And we'll see what happens. You know, within average, he's within really 5, 6, 7 seconds. But at most, if you get one of those long ones, it's truly a rarity and quite the bummer. No Instagram for Michael. No Instagram for Switch. But very quick for Michael. Oh, Switch. Not a little below average probably for Switch on that one. Not the end of the world. But it's okay. Everything's fine. Probably not what you want to see in this tight of a race. It'd be a shame if that was the race decider. Just Grimly. All right, Breaker Room. Big room here. Big plays. Let's see how the runners approach it. Definitely always hoping it's on the right side because the boo can charge at you. And it looks like it just actually switched to the left side for Michael. And Switch doesn't go for Breaker Room boo here. So if Michael beefs this here, the big advantage for Switch. But so far, it's looking pretty clean for Michael as he drags this boo to the back. It's looking like it'll be good. And Michael does indeed get the Breaker Boo 1 cycle. That's going to be huge for Michael here. Because when we get to Van Gore, it's going to look like Switch has a bit of a lead here for a lot of Area 4. But once we get to Van Gore, Switch is going to have to get a definite 2-cycle boo where Michael just doesn't have to. So that's going to be a huge, huge moment here. Switch is going to have to play exceptionally well now to really maintain a lead. Definitely a huge, huge moment for Michael. And, you know, if he does win, that's going to be a large attribute to it. That's a one of the hardest boos to get in the game in 1 cycle. At least in this category, it's the hardest boo to get in one cycle. Because it has 200 health, and with the 15 cackle thing we talked about before, you saw he was dragging the boo to the right and then letting it kind of float a little bit to not use up as many cackles. It's very, very tricky to do that correctly and to really drag the boo back without having it double cackle. So definite super kudos to Michael on that one. Really can't state it enough. So it will look like Switch has the lead here for a little bit. But do look at that boo counter. And yeah, it's gonna be close. Plus, with that longer Grimly for Switch as well, Michael really kind of has to mess this up a little bit if Switch wants to come back on that one. Which, I mean, it's possible. Don't get me wrong. I've seen some good old area 4 chokes before. So you see Switch setting up a double here. And then dragging them into the corner, trying to maintain as much control as he can. Focusing on the blue one before moving over to controlling the pink one. And then getting a nice, relatively clean double. Didn't quite get into the corner, so the HP suck up might not have been as fast as he wanted. Probably, but if they didn't break away, it was successive, and that's still better than getting them one at a time. Michael, you'll see, trying to get the winder off, and he does. Manipulating very well there. Switch opting not to run over to the ladder. Interesting. I actually see Michael here when he does his double. He's gonna, I assume, run over to the ladder and try and hop up on the ladder while the chest cutscene is happening. Yep. It should be nice and clean, and you'll see Luigi hop on the ladder while that chest spawns. It just saves like a second. It's nice. Maybe 2. Hey, the moon is back again. All right, anyways. Armory room on Switch's side. A lot of ghosts in here, a lot of objects, a lot of lag. Losing this boo, also very punishing. Because it goes into, no matter what, it goes into a dark room if you do lose this boo. And it's a 150 health boo. So you have to play it perfect. Well, almost perfect. Potentially good RNG for Switch here, and it is. So this boo will charge right into Switch's vacuum. It should be set up for a nice 1 cycle. You'll see he's pumping according to the health. The health is technically draining a little bit slower because of the lag. So you really have to watch the number here instead of, just timing it how you normally time it. Looks like a nice, clean suck up there for Switch. And I think the boo did switch there for Michael as well. So Michael shouldn't have a problem either going forward with this suck up. And you could hear definitely the difference in cackle speed compared to other boos that Michael's doing right now. Michael, no problem. 1 cycling armory boo. And also save warping to the bottom. 39 boos over 38 boos right now. You'll see Switch going into this room. Not going to clear the room. Not going to turn the lights on because we actually don't need to get the key. He will get frozen in ice though. Not part of the strategy. Yeah, you could just turn the pipe, grab the key, and leave. We used to do this room when we used to get pipe room, but we found faster methods, everyone. We got fast. We got smart. Alright, we just got fast. We maybe didn't get smart. That's okay, though. You'll see Switch freezing the ghost, more so to keep them from grabbing him, just keep them out of his way. And now Switch moving into the Weston room. This room's fun because, you know, ice physics are fun. The icicle is going to fall right on Luigi's head. Ooh, he dodged it. Everything's fine. This ghost is tough. Even some of the best runners do 2-cycle him. But Switch does 1 cycle, which is good because he can't really afford to make a mistake right now. Look at that angle from Michael. That was a weird angle. I don't know if I've seen that. Oh, Michael really getting pulled by Weston. It's fine. Everything's fine. Intended strategy. Nothing went wrong. Ooh, that boo's really high in the air for Switch. And I think he had a little bit of the lock on onto the element. Oh, just nails it though for Switch. You'll see he got on the top side just to make sure that that boo, just in case on the escape, wasn't going to go over to the pipe room. Because that would be disastrous. Great suck up here from Michael so far. And yeah. Assuming Michael doesn't severely mess up Van Gore room, this is going to be tough for Switch to come back from. But Switch is ahead. How would he have to come back from it? Just you watch. You'll see. Mark my words, chat. Yeah, right now this run is not going to come up to whether... I mean, yes, Switch has to play well, but I do think it's going to have to come up to Michael making a mistake at this point. Because of that breaker boo. When I said earlier, breaker boo is going to be one of those definitive moments. For sure. So this is the final mini boss, if you will. It's not really. It's more so like a wave thing. It's waves of every regular ghost in sets of 3s. Switch looks ahead but has 1 less of the boos because of a route difference. Michael went for a more difficult boo and succeeded. It's a riskier play, but it did pay off. So Switch is going to get the Van Gore boo, this boo in here, which has 300 health, where Michael doesn't have to get any more boos. But he missed a triple, doesn't deserve to be in the finals. We're going to give it to Switch anyways. And that's kind of why I kept the audio of Michael here, because you're going to see Michael quickly take the lead after this. Hopefully for Switch, the boo is in the bookcase here. Otherwise, rip 8 seconds. I don't know if it's 8 seconds. Someone told me in the past it's 8 seconds. I don't think it's 8 seconds. Honestly, this is closer than I thought, though. Because Michael has to mirror warp. Switch has to save warp. Michael knocked on a wall. I think if Switch loses this, it might be because of Grimly. So now we're going to King Boo, final boss. No 56 today. But we should see 257s, which is exciting. Yeah, between Grimly and the lack of breaker. But it would have been really tight if Switch didn't have a below average Grimly for sure. But the breaker boo, I kind of called it in area 3 or early area 4. Breaker boo kind of is sealing the deal. Unless Michael messes up 2-cycle, if Michael messes up 2-cycle King Boo, this could be Switch's race. Like, this ain't over. I've seen some good old King Boo chokes in my day. Get frozen by ice, GG. So optimally, obviously, I talk about the 2-cycle. You do want a 2-cycle King Boo to win here. But if you don't do things correctly, it's either a fast or a slow 3-cycle, depending on what happens. Up to, if it's a fast 3-cycle, I think it's like 15-ish seconds, and if it's a slow 3-cycle, it's 30-ish second difference. So depending on what happens here, if Michael does choke, experienced runner usually doesn't, but listen, life happens. Yeah, Switch can swoop up the win right at the end. Yeah, this race was close the entire time. You know, kudos to both of the runners to pull off 57s in a just in general in a tournament setting is incredible. So Michael's starting his suck up here. Wants to get 250 or below here. Loses a little bit of the suck up time because it is on a timer here. 248, he should be secure here unless he gets frozen by ice or makes a drastic mistake. Switch on the other side doing his suck up. A little bit tense. I'm trying to watch both screens. 241 on Switch's side. So it's all up to Michael whether he gets this or not, because Switch most definitely will 2-cycle. But it looks like a victory for Michael at 57-21. Holy moly, what a close race. That's unbelievable. Whoa, he didn't 2-cycle. I am actually legitimately shocked. I have to watch it back. What happened? Did he miss an R pump? That's probably the most surprising part of this whole thing. That's unbelievable. And a 58.01 on Switch's side. Wow. I did not see that coming. I really thought he had that 2-cycle in the bag. Dude, GG me, am I right? So I know Michael was having issues with his audio earlier, his microphone. So I don't know if it's going to work if I can interview him. But if Switch wants to come and join me, this would be the time. Oh, he did. He's here. The champion. Dude, it was so close the entire. I don't know if you had it up. Like, I don't know if you
No, I had no idea.
Literally the entire time was about within 10 seconds.
All I knew was someone told me. I thought I was playing well, man. I thought I was ahead. Honestly,
you had a great run. I mean,
halfway through the King Boo fight, someone told me I was 14 seconds behind, and then I saw Michael finish, so I kind of like missed the 2-cycle. But I would have been.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, I would have only been 20 seconds off PB if I had gotten 2-cycle, but.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great run all the way through.
I'm sure it was entertaining because it was very close.
It was, honestly, after Area 2, like the Bogmire key, you were within 2 seconds. I mean, you should watch it back. It's a hell of a race.
I will definitely do that. But yeah, that was fun.
You played well. Nothing to be upset about on that one.
Yeah, it was funny because I did a warm-up run right before the race and I got a 57:35 and I'm like, wow, I wish this could be my race time. And then it
almost was.
would have had one like better than that, but
I think it was a 57:33 if you.
Yeah, something like that. I'm happy with that. I mean, didn't get early release and had like a 10-second Grimly, so there's
you both didn't get early release, but he did have a faster Grimly than you. I think the definitive difference is Michael got Breaker Boo, and I think that's what it made.
Yeah. Oh, he got it. Yeah,
it was nice. Okay. It was a clean one. So
yeah, Michael had a great run too.
Yeah, I mean,
it's funny because last races for both of us, I think we both had 59s.
Yeah, I think that sounds right. You both brought your A game. Definitely, you both made it difficult. It was entertaining on my side. Thanks for that, dude. But yeah, dude, GG to both.
That was fun. Thanks for commentating.
Of course. Thanks for playing well.
Yeah.
It's much more fun when the runners play well.
I know, right? It's not fun when I'm not playing well.
Yeah, it's not fun when nobody's playing well. So, that being said, we have the finals coming up, don't we?
Damn. All right. Whoops.
Exclamation point LM in the chat. Check it out. We got next match is the finals.
Good luck to Michael. I hope he destroys blue hits. Ooh. Actually, no, I'm impartial. But I hope it's a good race.
The finals will be scheduled. If you check out exclamation point LM, it does have a link to when it will be scheduled. Yeah, I mean, it's literally right there. Speedgaming.org/LM. The two runners have to schedule it first. I'm going to talk with them. And we're going to organize it. If Michael wins that match, it'll be a double header because that will have been Blue Hits' first elimination, technically. So, a lot going on. Two great runners.
Yep.
I'm excited. Are you excited?
Yes, I will be watching that. I'll try to get a commentator spot too. Unless you want to commentate alone, I don't really care.
That being said, make sure you follow these runners. They both do stream a lot. And follow Speed Gaming. If you're not following Speed Gaming, you're wrong, and you should feel bad because they're great at what they do. They make this so easy for communities like us who don't want to deal with setting things up. I am very excited for the final, and I hope you guys are too. In the meantime, we're going to go offline for now. Thank you all for watching. Again, racers, thank you for racing.
Thank you, GC, and thank you guys for being here. Appreciate y'all.
And have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you at the final.
All right, see you later.